One of the most challenging parts of life is constantly being both one or two steps ahead of the people you want to help, while at the same time being one or two steps behind the person you want to become. As I'm trying to clarify God's purpose for my life and what I believe my purpose is, and as I create products, or I'm thinking about what my ideal customer wants, what they need right now, I'm constantly having to remember when I had that problem. So from a solution standpoint, I'm trying to go back and say, how did I resolve these issues in my own life? That's going on while simultaneously I'm going, how do I get to the next level? This is a person, or this is a trait, or this is a characteristic that I want to have in my life, or I want to, there is this image of who I want to become, who I want to be. It might be a character trait, like I said, or it might be a person that I really admire their traits. So I'm trying to become more like them. So I'm beating my own demons while I'm trying to teach someone else how to beat theirs. That can be a very frustrating place, but it's also a place of extreme humility, because while you're absolutely a teacher in many areas, because you've already conquered, like I said, your own demons, certain things, you've already overcome several things, many things. There's also so much more you could learn. There's also so many more mentors out here, and so many more things you could that could change your perspective. And through changing your perspective, you're slowly being molded into new ways, and you're slowly becoming that, my case, the Sabrina I want to become. But in that, I'm constantly having to remember the Sabrina that I was, the problems that I had, the solutions that I've come up with thus far, and create something, a message, a class, a book, or something that I can pass on to someone that is where I was, while I'm still reaching towards reading about trying to put in practice new techniques, new ideas. It's a very humbling place. It's a very exciting place, because you're constantly learning. If you can just tweak your mindset about it, because if you feel like, oh my God, I'm tired of learning the same lesson over and over again, as opposed to, you know what, let me get this lesson. Let me do the thing that I am fighting so hard not to do. Let me step outside of my comfort zone. Let me do whatever it is it takes for me to shed this body, this version of Sabrina, so that I can advance to this next level, and most importantly, allow me to be able to articulate it for the young lady that's coming up behind me, that isn't quite where I am. It might not even right now have a clear enough vision of where she wants to go, but she's challenged in these areas. I want to get that lesson well enough so that I can articulate that for her, because I'm watching some woman or man, or there's something that I want that I believe is someone else has gone through what I'm going through, and they figured out how to best articulate it for me. So I'm constantly learning while I'm constantly teaching. Just a very interesting place to be. And if you are there, you probably are in some capacity, and you're feeling like, oh my God, like I said, I'm so tired of having to learn these lessons and I don't want to learn this lesson again. Learn the lesson so that you can get it to somebody else, so that someone else can learn from it, so that you can hand it to someone else, a complete package, and say, you know what, this is where I was. This is what I learned. This was my mindset. This was the mindset I had to adopt in order to get out of there, get out of that situation, financial, relationship-wise, business-wise, spirituality, health, whatever that thing is for you that you have overcome. There's a young lady or a young man that absolutely needs that. Somebody needs your journey. They need you to be able to articulate it in a way that's not judgmental, in a way that doesn't make them feel embarrassed, in a way that shows them how to get through it faster, just helps them see their own situation. They're already going to have to go through it. They've already gone through something, because they have to be going through it to be able to identify, this doesn't work for me. When your lights and gas and your cars, that stuff is being turned off, and then your car is being repossessed, and then your bank account is always in a negative. About that time, somewhere along those lines, you kind of start thinking, I might need some help managing my finances, or I might need some assistance figuring out how I can make more money. So once you start going through that kind of stuff, once you've gone through it long enough, then you can say, wait a minute, the problem is this: I never have enough money. The solution is, how do I generate more money? How do I become a better steward over what I currently have? Right? So now that you've identified the problem and you've come up with what you assume is the solution, when the people that are financially savvy, you start paying more attention to those people. But they had to be in your shoes in order to create something that could help you. So anyway, like I said, as I'm getting clearer about my purpose and the women that I want to serve and the solutions that I believe I have for their problems, I'm getting even more clear about the issues that I currently have and the solutions that I think would help me, and I'm seeking out at the same time. So I'm getting better. As you get better, the women or men coming up behind you, they get better.